He walked into the hospital expecting a routine visit, but when he saw her name on the bed tag, his world stopped, and what he discovered inside would leave him shattered. Daniel Cross was a man who had everything: wealth, influence, and a schedule packed with meetings and international flights. He was known for his calculated mind and a heart buried deep beneath layers of business suits and closed doors. Yet, something about that rainy Wednesday evening felt off. He was only at the hospital because his company was donating a new wing. It was supposed to be a quick visit, shake hands, get photos, leave. But as he walked through the hallway toward the pediatric section, his eyes caught a name on a bed list taped to a door. Anna Hale. He froze. His heart skipped a beat. It couldn't be her. Anna had once been the heartbeat of his youth, his closest friend, the girl who believed in him before the world did, who stuck by him when he had nothing but a dream. They lost touch years ago, right after college. She'd moved away. He dove into business. Life happened. But he never forgot her laugh, her kindness, the way she always put others first. Compelled by a force he didn't understand, he slowly opened the door to the room. The light was soft, the silence thick, and on the hospital bed lay a pale, fragile figure. It was her. Her face looked tired, cheeks slightly sunken, lips dry. A medical machine beeped steadily beside her, and a single IV line ran to her hand. Daniel couldn't believe it. What happened to her? Why was she here alone? He stepped closer, his throat tightening as memories flashed in his mind. Bonfire nights, shared secrets, long talks under the stars. He wanted to speak, to say her name, but his voice caught in the knot of shock and emotion. Then he saw the small file at the foot of the bed. He picked it up, his hands trembling slightly as he opened it. Daniel's eyes scanned the hospital file, and with each line, his heart grew heavier. Stage 3 lymphoma. Admitted after fainting at work. No emergency contact listed. His hands shook. How could Anna be going through something so devastating alone? Where was her family? Friends? Why hadn't she reached out? He sat on the chair beside her bed, guilt washing over him like a tidal wave. Here he was, a billionaire who could afford private islands, while the one person who once fed him when he had no money was now lying helpless in a hospital bed. And he had no idea until now. Anna stirred. Her eyes fluttered open slowly, squinting against the light. Then they widened with shock when she saw him. "Daniel," she whispered, voice dry and soft. He leaned forward, his voice cracking. "Yeah, it's me. Anna, what happened?" She tried to smile, but tears pooled in her eyes. "Life happened. I didn't want anyone to know. I didn't want pity." Daniel reached for her hand, gripping it gently. "This isn't pity. It's love. It's friendship. It's someone who still remembers you bringing homemade soup to class and patching up my busted knee." Anna laughed weakly. "That soup was terrible." They both smiled, but the air between them carried unspoken pain. She explained that after college, her father passed away, and she took care of her younger siblings while working double shifts. She never got married, never found the time. Eventually, the sickness came, and she kept quiet about it, not wanting to burden anyone. Daniel sat in stunned silence. This woman, who had always given so much, now had nothing but pain, and she still chose to suffer in silence. He looked at her with fierce resolve. "You're not alone anymore, Anna. I'm here, and I'm not leaving." Anna tried to protest, her voice still weak. "Daniel, you don't have to—" But he interrupted gently. "I want to, and I will." That night, Daniel didn't leave the hospital. Instead, he made calls. Dozens. By morning, Anna's room had transformed, Fresh flowers, a new mattress, and a private nurse were already in place. But that was just the beginning. Daniel had his private doctors flown in. Specialists from across the country were briefed and brought on board. Within 48 hours, Anna was moved to a top-tier private facility. She protested again, but Daniel simply said, "You gave me life when I had nothing. Now I'm giving it back." News of the mystery woman under the billionaire's care made headlines. The media called her the woman who touched a billionaire's heart. Reporters speculated, was she his long-lost love, a secret wife? But Daniel didn't care. The only thing that mattered was Anna's recovery. During her treatment, Daniel stayed by her side. He worked from her hospital room, brought her books, laughter, hope. One night, as they looked out at the city skyline from her window, Anna said softly, "You always dreamed big, Daniel. I never thought I'd be part of that dream." He turned to her, emotion in his eyes. "Anna, you were always part of the dream. I just didn't know it until I almost lost you." Their bond grew deeper, not just rooted in the past, but blooming in the present. Every chemo session was met with his unwavering support. Every setback was softened by his encouragement. For the first time in years, Anna felt truly cared for. And slowly, the light returned to her eyes. Months passed. Anna's strength returned, her hair started to grow back, and her laughter began to echo once again. This time in Daniel's mansion, not a hospital room. One evening, Daniel invited her to a quiet dinner on his rooftop, overlooking the entire city. The table was lit by soft candlelight, music played faintly in the background, and everything felt perfect. Anna, now glowing with health, wore a simple dress Daniel had gifted her, a shade of blue that reminded him of their school days. Halfway through dinner, Daniel stood up, took a small box from his jacket, and walked over to her. "Anna," he said, his voice slightly trembling but eyes unwavering. "I was always chasing success, thinking it would make me happy, but I realized happiness isn't in skyscrapers or bank accounts. It's in you, in your kindness, your strength, the way you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." He opened the box. A delicate, elegant ring shimmered inside. "Will you marry me?" Tears welled up in Anna's eyes as she nodded, speechless. "Yes, Daniel." 1,000 times yes. The media erupted the next morning. "Billionaire marries woman who once gave him hope?" But to them, headlines didn't matter. What mattered was this. A sick woman who once lay forgotten in a hospital bed, rejected and alone, now stood proudly as the wife of a man whose life she had unknowingly shaped years ago. And Daniel? He had finally found the piece of his heart that had always been missing. From poverty and pain to promises and love, their story became a living reminder that sometimes kindness comes back in the most beautiful, unexpected ways.